Hello and welcome to Conversations Need to Be Had. I'm your host Chantel Gabriella Jazz, and I'm joined today with Lauren, and we're just going to be having a conversation. Let us know your thoughts.
Yes, please, let us know your thoughts.
So today's question is, what's it like having borderline personality disorder?
Well, what can I say? Having B.P.D is like a rollercoaster of emotions, continuously, all the time, in and out of your head. Sometimes you don't know if you're coming or going. Sometimes emotions are too overwhelming that you just try to escape from everything. Sometimes you're very closed off, but you can like switch in an instant. 1 minute I'm just happy, I'm in the best mood ever, and all of a sudden, bam, darkness. And it takes a while to be able to get out of that. Because you have to like realign your thoughts continuously all day, every day. It's a lot of work. It's very stressful sometimes. And it can be something that you can't get out of. Like a lot of people don't want to ask for help with B.P.D. A lot of people are misdiagnosed with it. Or a lot of people just, they don't care enough about themselves to get help. Like I've dated people with B.P.D as well.
When did you get diagnosed?
I got diagnosed last year.
Oh wow, so it's pretty fresh. Okay. So did you feel that there was something wrong?
Yeah. I've known for a while. I've known from like my teens that I've had something wrong. But when I went to mental health specialists, they'd be like, you have this, and this. We don't know how to categorise you. So it was like a long running thing of, I don't know where I am in the mental health spectrum. And for years, it was something that was annoying me because I didn't know where I fitted into that spectrum. But after a while, it's just like, you know what? I don't want to know because I want to be labelled as anything. I want to know for my peace of mind.
Okay.
So I know how to like cultivate into something that's not going to harm me but will benefit me. And that's what you have to do. Take the power from it. And have it as your own power.
So you feel more at peace with yourself now?
Yeah, I feel more at peace with myself because I know that my irrational thinking isn't just me just being irrational sometimes. It's that chemical balance in my head that sometimes fluctuates. Not to like say I use it as an excuse because I won't have an argument with someone and be like, oh yeah, my B.P.D. No, it's just me generally as a person. But when I have to like dissect it for myself, I know that it was more elevated due to B.P.D. rather than it just being something that could have just been blown over very easily. And that's the annoying part. Because then people don't know how to take you as well. And you have to constantly be like, I'm like this because of this. I'm like this because of this. And I don't want to be that kind of person that's like, oh, this is because of this. It's very just like annoying and draining. And then people would label you anyways. And I'm trying to get away from this label and this stigma. Just let me be me and be free, be happy.
So what? Do you think there's a stigma around mental health?
Of course.
Like,
of course, man. It's like if you're depressed, they always try to like label you as like clinically depressed. Why am I clinically depressed? Because I don't want to get up in the morning. Because I don't know how to deal with my emotions. Or because I'm just sad. You can't just have emotions and just feel a type of way without having to have a stigma put onto you. To be like, oh, so because I'm like this is because of this. Well, not really, no. Like, depression is just a state of mind, innit? It depends on what you're doing in your own life and how you see yourself or perceive yourself in order to be able to live and function in society. If you feel like society is always attacking you, then of course you're going to be depressed. Because that's your thing. And you're not helping yourself by running away from your problems. And a lot of people these days run away from their problems and their issues. Because it's easier to not have to deal with it. Or it's like, I'm going to pop a pill because it's going to help me. But at the end of the day, does it help you? If you put that much effort into opening that bottle to take that pill, what is it to just, do some mindfulness, do some meditation, do something for yourself that makes you feel better?
Exercise.
Exercise, literally have a walk.
Change your diet, because a lot of the time what you eat actually affects your mental state as well as your body.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of people don't think about that. They think that they can just carry on as normal and eat food that has all these hormones and everything in it, and it's not going to affect them. But I think going back to what you're saying, it's like, you know, sometimes people do use their conditions or diagnosis as a way to kind of be a victim. And that's something that I find quite hard to take on board, because it's like what you're saying, it's like, even though you've got that, you've not boxed yourself in and allowing that to limit yourself. And I think that's the issue that a lot of people have, is that they then, you know, they limit themselves and put themselves in that box and then become a victim of their own, out of their own choice. Because I feel like we always have a choice regardless of what is put in front of us.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need to have that victim cloak. Take it off. Once you take that victim cloak off, you don't realise how much more free you are. How much more free you are in your being, in your mind, in your soul. Everything comes from a better angle when that victim cloak is gone. Why do we have to have a victim cloak? Why do we need to play a victim? Why do we feel that sorry for ourselves and pity ourselves that much that we don't see our own true power and how precious we are? Like, it goes with everything, like taking care of yourself, as you said, with eating. Once you take the victim cloak off, your eating becomes better because your mind is more better. Even if you have a messy room, tidy it once in a while, innit? Don't hurt you. Just 5 minutes.
But then some people might not have even the energy to even think to get up and to create order in their external. Do you know what I mean? So how could one overcome that? What steps would you take when maybe you're having an episode where you can't see right from left? Like, how do you...
Like, I've been having a lot of episodes lately. Might have been Mercury retrograde, who knows? But I've been having a lot where I've been so manic that I don't want to get out of bed. I don't want to go to work. Sometimes I will call in sick. But at the same time, it's just like, what am I doing for myself? Like, I'll sit there and think, what am I doing for myself? I'm just going to sit in this darkness. For what? How is it helping me? It's not making me feel any better. I feel even more shit because I'm not doing the things that I need to be doing. Or just helping myself in a way that makes me feel more energized. So if my room is a mess and I'm in a dark place, it takes me like it might take me a week to tidy my room, because I'll do like maybe 5 minutes a day and I'll create more mess, and then at some point I'm just like, I can't deal with this mess anymore, it's giving me anxiety now, and then I'll just power through and do it, innit? But you have to push yourself, you have to want to push yourself. And most people, I don't know if it's like they don't want to push themselves or they want people to do it for them. I don't want people to do nothing for me. I don't have time for that, mate.
Maybe some people... I feel like we are living in a time now where people want to be spoon-fed everything. Yes. And it's like, when things become a little bit ugly, then they're like, no. Because obviously we're living in a time where we can just, delete, cancel, mute. And now we're all saying, that they've been cancelled and all of this. And it's like, I don't know. I feel like that's so unrealistic to what life is. You're always going to have ups. You're always going to have downs. There's always going to be, obstacles in your way. There's always going to be something to test your character. So you can't just be like, oh, well, I can't deal with that. I'm pushing it to the side, because then you're not allowing that process of evolution.
And you're not living. You're not living your truth. Like, it's fine to have your days of being down in it. No one's expecting you to be 100% all the time, because that's not life. That's not living your truth. I don't expect anyone to be happy 24/7. Because I'm going to look at you and be like, no, that's you. No, you can't be happy 24/7. I'm not saying you can't, but it's like it's kind of unethical in a way, because you're going to be sad. There are going to be moments like if someone died, you're going to be joyful and happy, are you? Oh my god, this person's died. Woo, let's throw a party. No, you're not going to be. You're going to have some sort of feeling of overwhelming, like, abundance to this person. Just being like, oh my god, I'm tearful. I'm sad. This person's gone. So it's warranted to be sad, and don't think that because you have all these issues you can't feel them. And people are scared to feel their emotions because they don't know how to deal with their emotions. But once you love yourself, or even like a self-love journey, just do little things. If you like to draw, do it. You can draw a stick man. If you don't want to be that creative, draw a little stick man. a little flower aside.
So does that help you? Because I know that you draw and stuff.
It does. It's nice to just sit there for a few hours, block out the rest of the world if that's not helping you. Sometimes it helps to just not be on social media for a little while. I've done that where I've deleted Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. Not that I use my Facebook, it's just there. But I've deleted them. WhatsApp deleted, messages I can't delete because...
Well, they have said that a lot of mental health has been kind of influenced by social media, by Instagram, you know, by seeing these images of these unrealistic humans and people then comparing themselves and then feeling, you know, inadequate in themselves, and, you know, how the subconscious mind works as well. It works through image as well. So I feel like, you know, maybe that does play a part, and one needs to kind of find balance between it. But I also feel like we all want human connection, but maybe the way that we're accessing it now is not in a good way because it's not actually physically happening.
Because everything is more virtual these days. Like, you can just send a text message, that's it, I've done my human interaction today. But is it human interaction? Or is it technology interaction? It's not human interaction. You don't have that presence of that person being around you to be able to feel a connection. Fair enough, you can talk to someone and know that you have a connection via, you know, text message or like online chat, whatever. But when you actually meet this person, is the connection still there? And people worry about that. Like, if I'm going to go meet this person, is that still going to be there? So they create a facade online. You have your virtual alter ego. And then you meet the person that's like, you're not nothing.
That's happened before, yeah.
Because people lie about themselves now.
It's like a mask, isn't it? Yeah.
Take the mask off and just be you. There's nothing wrong with being you. Being you is the most beautifulest thing that you can do for yourself, because we are our own self-critics. Our own, like, self-judges as well.
Our own worst enemies sometimes, you know.
It's true. I can say I've been my own self-enemy for a very long time, and it took me a while to be like, nah, man, I need to start loving myself, innit?
That takes courage, man.
It does.
Well done.
Thank you.
Do you take any medication
I
for
do
B.P.D?
not take any medication.
How comes?
I don't believe in taking medication for things. Like, unless you've got like a proper illness.
But hold on. That is an illness. I don't
know, like, mental health, yeah. It is an illness. But it's like an illness in a state of mind, innit? Like, I mean, like a physical, like, ailment. Like, I've got diabetes, so I have to take medication for that, otherwise I will die. Like, with mental illness, it's about how you treat your mind, innit? Like, obviously, if you're like a proper psychopath, I'm not going to be like, maybe you might need to take some pills. But if you can get your mind right by yourself, or allow steps to happen.
But what if someone in their mind can't seem to find that power of themselves? Like, would you say that then that's bad, that they would maybe fall back on taking antidepressant? Or
I just feel like antidepressants blocks the channels within your brain to be able to function properly. That's what I feel like, for me personally. Like, I'm not going to tell someone else not to take pills. But for me personally, I feel like it blocks all of that stuff. It blocks your chakras, it blocks your chi to be able to deal with things.
What's chi? For people, what's chi? For some people that might not know what that is.
Energy, innit?
Okay.
If anybody's watched Kung Fu Panda, yeah, chi, mate. It's just how it's balanced within the world, innit? Like, you're one with nature is one with you, and one with everything. But that's me being, like, on a spiritual level. Some people are not on a spiritual level. Some people don't believe that spirituality can heal things, whereas I do. And it's
what's your definition of it?
What do you mean?
Or spirituality?
It's just pure energy within you that you harness. It's pure power that comes from all elements. So you've got earth, air, fire, water. That all plays into it. And I feel like it's embedded in you to be more spiritual. Because you can meditate and you can reach certain levels, man, and unlock certain parts of your brain.
But what if a person can't meditate? What if they find it hard to do it? What's your tips then to meditate? to find your chi or to balance your chi?
I can't speak for everybody else, but for me, like, you have to be able to clear your thoughts. And with B.P.D, sometimes that doesn't happen. It doesn't allow you to, because your mind is always overworking to process stuff. But you have to just try it at least. Even if you get down to like 10 thoughts, that's still progress. And then from that 10 thoughts, you can get down to like 5 and then so forth. And then it becomes easier where you're able to just shut out everything else and just focus. Or just focus on one thing. Like, if there's something you want in life and that's something that's all on your mind 24/7, focus on that. And it will help you to realign your thoughts as well. But it's a process, isn't it? You have to put work into it. It doesn't just happen overnight. But people want quick fixes.
Okay.
That's what's happening in society. I want a quick fix to put my mind right. And nobody wants to work at it. And that's why I feel like antidepressants, it doesn't help, because it offers you that quick fix. And then when you're on it, the amount of people I know that are on it, and they're like, oh, for the first month, I just wanted to kill myself even more. No, I'm not about that life, innit? Like, I already want to kill myself. I don't need it to be heightened. Or you don't want to do anything else. You want to be in dark. I can't.
You know what? Actually, personally, there was a point in my life where I fell into that trap of believing that antidepressants could solve all my issues. And like what you're saying, it actually did lead to me then, because what happens, it makes you completely numb. So it's like, instead of just taking away the negative thoughts, it just makes you numb to everything. And I actually did try to kill myself on them. So I completely hear that. And it does mask the problem, because the issue's still there. And I don't think that, you should get to a point where you've become even worse than what you were before. And then on something that is meant to heal you, or like, I don't know. I don't think I personally would never suggest to anybody to go on antidepressants because of my own experience. But like you said, I can't tell a person what to do, and everybody's different. And people might have more of a psychosis situation going on where, they, I don't know. For me, I just see that a lot of these mental health issues that's going on, I feel like it's actually a spiritual calling. Like, I feel like it's a part of yourself that is opened up, but you don't know how to channel it, because how the Western world operates, it's like there's nothing more than this material world, and I think, like we've sometimes label people, people that might be called schizophrenic, and because they hear voices and stuff, but sometimes they might actually be real entities that these people are hearing.
Mate, I've heard lots of voices. I've heard people calling my name, and I'm just like, Mum, have you called my name? No. And I'm just hearing Lauren. I'm just like, oh, someone's calling me. And like, in the past, I was just like freaking out. Like, I was younger, innit? Obviously. No, not obviously, but I was just at a point where I was just like, oh, this is freaking me out. But I advise people to get counselling.
Okay, so do you get counselling?
I don't get counselling.
Oh, okay. So why are you telling people to get counselling for?
Okay, so my thing is, that I try to get counselling, but NHS, I'm sorry, you guys, they don't help me. Every NHS person I've had doesn't help me, so I have to pay for it, which is fine or whatever. But then I get to a point where I'm just like, you're telling me everything I basically know. So at this juncture in my life, I feel like I'm figuring it out for myself. And then when I feel like I can't process anymore, or I can't help myself anymore, then I will go counselling for the rest of it.
But I need to intervene, because you know what? Like, a good therapist is not actually meant to tell you anything. They're meant to allow you to have that space to open up, and then you actually unravel to yourself what it is. Know what? Like, guys, if you're listening to this and your therapist is trying to tell you this, that, left, right, centre, whatever, they should not be telling you what to do at all.
You're supposed to give me the tools to help myself. And every time I've had a therapist, this is what happens. So I feel like it's the universe telling me that right now you don't need a therapist. You know what you need to do. It's up to you to put in the work to be able to do it for yourself. Not everybody has that. And like with all these pills and stuff, all it does is, like you said, it numbs you. So it dims your emotions. So then when you come off of it, you are sometimes triggered. Even more worse because you haven't been able to deal with any emotions that you've had in the past for so long.
Yeah. So it's a cycle.
Exactly. A lot of my friends that have been on it for like 2 years, they come off and they're like, I don't know how to deal with this.
Wow.
I cried the other day. I didn't know how to deal with it. Then you lash out because you don't know how to deal with your emotions. So all it does is, well, it just burdens you, really, rather than help. Because you go in it, you feel like crap. You come off it, you feel like crap. And they're always like, don't just stop taking them. When you say that to me, I'm just like, So if I just suddenly stop taking it, I'm going to be worse off because my mind is unable to deal with the complex emotions that have been dormant for so long. You have to ease yourself off of it. Anything that I have to ease myself off of is alright, isn't it? But I'm not doing that. It's too much. I don't have time for that. But yeah, I don't know, man. For me, I wouldn't personally take them. When people ask me, I'm just like, I personally know I wouldn't. But it's up to you if you want to, innit? Everyone's journey is different.
So do you feel that you'll never get to a point where you would fall back on that?
No. Even like having conversations with my dad was like, please never go on them.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been like, I don't believe in them.
Okay.
And I was like, don't worry, Dad, I'm right there with you, mate.
So do you have that support network with your family?
I mean, with my sister, yes. Sister, ride or die.
Oh.
I've always been close. But like, with my mum and that, it's a bit different, isn't it? Because that generation is like, oh, mental health, you know, it's like, it's just you've created a problem for yourself. That's how they kind of see it. And it's you have to be stronger within yourself to get over it. Which is fair enough, but sometimes society throws a lot of crap your way, innit? And you don't know how to deal with it. Especially like at work, I was the only, black female. For a very long time, we had a new one. I was very upset because I was no longer the triple threat. Being a black female lesbian. Now I've got this other black. I told her as well. I was like, I don't like you right now. And we're cool, she's cool. But like, society judges you, innit? And you're always put into a space where you're not going to be comfortable for a while. And that's how I feel like it is at work sometimes. And it's like, okay, I'm here. Let me do my job. And I feel like I have to like push myself more to prove that I'm worthy to people that I don't generally care what opinion they have of me. But you always have to do that because of how they perceive you to be, because of the colour of your skin as well. And that factors into mental health. Because we've been told that we're nothing for generations.
So it's been like that for all your life, that you felt that?
Yeah, I was either like at school I wasn't black enough. I was like an Oreo. You used to get that all the time, man.
No, people used to call you an Oreo.
Yeah, they used to call me because I'm well spoken. What, I have to speak hood because I'm black? Or you're completely different for a black person. What does that mean?
So how was you when you was younger, when you was at secondary school?
I was a rocker, but I was into everything.
Okay.
I was just different, innit? Let me be different. Let me live my best life. Like, I started out in the popular group and for 1 year.
What, year 7?
Yeah, year 7. Me and Danielle, year 7, man. And then we were like, nah, bun this. I'm not doing this. Keeping up appearances for what? No, I'm good, innit? I ain't got time for that. But that's what you go through in life, innit? You can't like rock music because you're black. Why? When it was a black person that started it. I'm sorry.
It seems to be that black people create everything and then it's taken away from them. And then we don't even know that we're the ones that created it.
That's what I'm saying. That's why when people are like, you can't like rock because you're black. Look up the history, innit? And then come tell me that I can't like it. It's very annoying. But that factors into mental health.
So was it like bullying? Or was it just, snide little comments?
I think it's just snide little comments. I wouldn't really class it as bullying. I've never really been bullied. Because I'll F you up. Try something. Don't want to start nothing with me, mate. Because I'll end it. For damn sure. No, but... Yeah. Nah, I never really bullied.
Do you feel that there was at any point in your life that kind of triggered your mental health deteriorating? I
mean, I went through a lot of crap when I was younger. Being abused and whatnot. That does factor into it. But at the same time...
It's a lot.
You can't really blame all of that for your mental health. If that makes sense.
But then sometimes that comes down to... Sometimes you that is actually a factor that plays a part.
Yeah.
Like post-traumatic stress disorder. Like that does come.
Too.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's just like... These are experiences I've gone through. They've shaped me as a person, yes. but I'm not going to let them cultivate my mental health anymore. I'm not going to give them power over that, because that's the downfall. And I'm trying to build myself up and make myself more powerful for me. So having that as a thing of, well, now that's added to my mental health, and this is why I've got B.P.D now. Obviously, it is, you know, traumatic, but at the same time, if you can learn to deal with shit, you can get over in it. You have to push yourself. You have to want to do better for yourself. And that's where we're lacking in life. Nobody wants to do better for themselves.
They don't want to put the work in because it's hard work. It's like you have to face the darkness within yourself, the shadows, the part of you that you try and deny. You use your facade, your mask. You're online making like, I'm living my best life, and you're in your yard bawling. You know what I mean? Like, come on, we all been there, babes. Do you know what I mean? Because we all want instant gratification. We want to be validated. Do you get what I mean? But, you know, we have to face facts. We have to face the truth of ourselves, you know, to really love ourselves. And it is about taking back our power, because I think that we externalize everything. Like, we think our happiness and you know my relationships or whatever that makes us happy. It's part of it. It's part of the experience of life, or the happiness that we can experience in this life. But I feel like the only true happiness is that contentment, that peace, like you said before, that you will get within yourself. And I think most people are running away from themselves. Like, there's people out there, you'll never find them on their ones. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're always in a group, they're always with people, and it's like, then, I don't know, like, I'm not like that in it, but it's just like, I find it kind of like, I find it like kind of sad, because it's like, but who are you? Without all of those people, without all of those things, who are you?
Exactly. You have to learn to be alone. That is the best thing you can do in life for yourself. Learn to love yourself and be alone. Mate, I'm a lone wolf. I like to be alone, innit? Sometimes I just like to even if I'm just sleeping, it's great. Just have
we all got to
space.
sleep though, so we're all alone. Well, actually, not everybody's alone when they're sleeping. Some people spooning. You know, they're going.
Sometimes, isn't it?
Spooning.
But I like to be in my room. Just away from people. I'm around people 24/7, yeah? So it's nice to just have that space. Go for a walk. Go to a meal by yourself. I don't have to wait on nobody. Go to the cinema by yourself. Enjoy something. Not everybody wants to do what you want to do, innit?
Yeah.
And you can't be disheartened because people don't want to do what you want to do. Go out and create for yourself, innit? It's the best thing in life. Learn to just be alone. Because then everything else will come and you're not afraid. Like, you won't stay with a person because you're afraid to be alone. You won't stay in a job because you're afraid that, oh no, I'm going to end up alone if I don't do this job, or I don't get this, you know, this.
But that's different though, because if you ain't got that job, then you won't have that stability or that income. So obviously a lot of people are stuck in situation where they don't want to really be in that job, but it's like...
Yeah, you get them all the time when they come into my work. And they treat you like crap.
Yeah, and then you're over drinking. Like yeah.
It's not my fault they didn't like your job, innit? If you really don't like it, change it, innit? Only you can change that for yourself. I can't do that for you. So please don't come with your crap. Because I don't have to deal with you, innit?
Do we start projecting then? That's what you're saying, onto other people when we're not happy within ourselves.
We're not happy within ourselves. That's why it's important to know yourself and to love yourself and to be alone. If you can be alone and you can love and accept everything that you are, then everybody else will love and accept you, because you have established that foundation within yourself. And that's what people lose.
100%.
They have to be with someone. I need to be with nobody.
But it's good.
Everybody needs to add, not take away. And if you can't add to my life, please.
But someone might add to your life, but it might be bad.
Yeah, that's very true. That's very true.
You know, sometimes, I don't know, that's something that I'm dealing with myself, is starting to realise that, you know, sometimes I might be drawn to things that might be bad for me just because I need to be able to feel something. You know, not that I can't feel alone. Like, I've gone through that journey of being... you know, celibate and not being with anyone. I've travelled alone, same as you. Like, you've travelled on your own, innit?
Yeah.
But it's like, what was the point? Oh, yeah. Sometimes, yeah. Sorry, I just went a little bit off track. But yeah, like, you know, sometimes, I've come to this realisation that, you know, do I really want to be with someone that's just going to bring out, you know, a lot of badness or whatever, or do I want there to be a nice solid ground? But then sometimes I feel like, okay, so I'm going back on what I said. But I'm like, sometimes I just feel like, then that's boring, man.
But you need someone to bring out the darkness in you.
Yeah, that's what but
for
accept
you to be able
it though.
To learn. Yeah.
Yeah.
For you to be able to learn, innit? Because if they can accept that darkness, it gives you a kind of a little bit of a hope to be like, well, if they can accept my darkness and my crap, I can accept my darkness and my crap.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it works like that. But then sometimes people just bring out the worst in you, and it's just like, okay, I accept my bullshit, but you're bringing out too much of my bullshit.
Yeah.
That I need to like. If it's like 7% of the time you're a dickhead, and that's what they're bringing out of you, that's 7%. That 30% is not going to shine. You know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah.
And then you're going to devalue yourself because you're just like, well, I'm just a dickhead, isn't it? 24/7. Then you'll lose people from your life because people are not going to be receptive of that. Nobody wants to be in dark energy, innit? There's only so much that you can.
Unless you're a Scorpio. Then you don't mind being in that darkness, but there has to be a balance. And I guess with this Libra full moon that's just happened, it is about finding that balance, scaling yourself out. And yeah, like you're saying, knowing yourself, knowing that, you're going to be sometimes upset or angry.
It's allowing yourself to feel those emotions and not just push them off as, okay, I'm feeling like this, but I don't have to deal with it. I don't want to deal with it. Deal with it because it's going to help you in the long run. Better yourself, innit?
How do you feel about, the highest suicide rates are in men?
When I first heard that, I was very shocked, you know.
Really? Yeah. Well, they say it's white men, which is absurd in my mind. Because
Why is it absurd?
To me, it's like, well, in a way, actually, well, now I'm thinking about it, it's like, it's a bit absurd because it's like, they have more opportunities.
More privilege.
They have more privilege. So, like, why would you then feel that, that you don't have a place in the world when you spent how many hundreds of years destroying all of the world to prove that you have a place in this world to then actually, no, I want to take myself away? Do you know what I mean? Like, to me, it doesn't make any sense. But then, now that I'm even saying it, I'm thinking, well, maybe even in that behaviour, it shows that obviously that there was something mentally wrong to want to cause so much pain and destruction across the world. Do you know what I mean?
I don't really feel like, if we're going to speak of like race, I don't feel white people are as, united.
Okay.
In the sense of helping their communities flourish or helping people within their communities.
That's interesting.
When you look at like Indian people, everywhere you go, they're helping each other out. Even black people, we're more so now helping each other out.
Yeah.
Like before, we'd be at war with each other. Why?
We still got a long
way to go, but we're trying to push each other, push each other and uplift each other more so. Whereas I don't feel like that's very much apparent in the white community. Now, obviously, you've got groups like KKK, but you're just destroying, you're just creating hate. So when you're built up around hate and having to hate people, you then hate yourself because everything that you do is a reflection of you. So what you project onto me is a reflection of you. And that's why I feel like it's more higher in white men than it is.
And maybe it's because they feel that pressure because things are kind of, laid out for them, that maybe if they're not successful in certain things, that they're then, like, it is the end of the world because, hold on, all my life I've had this privilege. All my life I've been told I can do anything. I get paid more than women. Do you know what I mean? And then maybe that's what it is,
Yeah, I can see that as well. Like, you have to keep up this facade of being righteous, at every given point. And you can't let down that barrier.
Let down that barrier.
Yeah, you do. But they don't get that opportunity. And it's quite sad to be more vulnerable and to be like, yo, this is what's happening. But men don't like to really talk about their emotions anyway.
That's the problem of all, regardless of race, all men. And it's that that whole identity with masculinity, once again, going back to the whole physicality, the external thing that people seem to be stuck on and not actually understanding their physical, their body, their mind.
Exactly.
And realising that, masculinity and femininity are one but each other in all. Like, so I have masculine traits and feminine traits. So I think, like, It's that lack of knowledge, lack of knowing self.
But it's also because then you're seen as being weak if you're a man, if you're too emotional.
Man up! What are you crying for? Man up!
Exactly. And you get taught that from a very young age to basically you need to just get on with life as a man. You ain't got time to cry or talk about your shoulda, woulda, coulda. You just got to do. Whereas obviously with females, we're just emotional creatures, isn't it? We like to have emotions. I don't want to be in a world where there's no emotions, you know what I'm saying? If I can't cry, well, I don't cry anyway. But if I can't cry...
if you don't have the opportunity to cry.
Like when people see a man crying, they don't go, oh, that's beautiful. They're like, oh, he's weak. Do you know what I mean? And this is why people don't know how to function properly or deal with their emotions. Because it's always seen as a sign of weakness. But weakness doesn't have to be bad, innit? Being vulnerable is a beautiful thing.
And that's not a weakness, that's a strength.
Exactly.
Because then that, again, is you not having a facade. You allowing yourself to be authentically you. Exactly.
Being able to cry is the most beautiful thing ever. You better cry, young man. Cry. If I was in church, sing those songs. You know what I'm saying?
Cry, baby. Gon' cry, baby. Okay, no, that's offensive, innit? Sorry, not cry, baby. I'm just saying cry, baby. Like, as in, cry, baby. Rest your head on my pillows. You know what I mean?
Because, like, the new term from, like, being, like, masculine and feminine is androgynous. Okay. I'm very androgynous.
Okay.
I have both sides. I don't know if they're very much equal. But sometimes I wake up, I'm like, oh, I'm feeling quite feminine today. Majority of the time, I'm like, yo, man, let me go run this thing. You know? Okay. I'm just down.
So you tapped into your masculine energy.
I am. And I like it. I need to dress up all the time. I ain't got that. That's just too much. Do my makeup, everything. Who does that?
Nails?
It's too much. I don't. For the first time in, 5 years, I got a manicure done. Ooh! With my mum. It was nice. I'm going to get my feet done too.
Oh, nice.
But it's just it was nice. It was nice to have that, pampering day, I guess. It's like, oh, this is actually quite nice, you know?
I've never had a pedicure. I've never had fake nails ever in my life.
Never had fake nails, no. I don't see the point. When they're sharp as well, what are you doing?
Yeah, but it's just so you can tap it.
That's not going
No, I know lesbians that have got it done, mate.
Yes.
And, yeah.
No, that's not going in my vagina. So you can
no, it's not going to go in. It's not going to go in.
People that have sex like that.
No, well,
with this
not
clause. That's what I'm saying. They're like, no, it feels good. Feels good where? You're just poking me even more, than the actual physical, thing. But
let's not even go down that route because we could really tell some stories. We've been around the block. Well, yeah.
I'm gonna say it's too much, isn't it? So if I'm gonna get a manicure, just clear, please. That's it.
It's true. It's true. It. I'm looking at my nails. My nails are quite long. My nails grow quickly. Anyway, let's go off. We're meant to be talking about mental health. We're not really meant to be talking about our tools. I mean, not our tools. I mean, our fingers. Sorry. See, my mind just goes off into that space. That's why. Let's not go down that route. So how do you feel that we can, as a society, allow space, because allow space for guys to express themselves? How do you think that we can find a solution then?
That's a very tough question. A lot has to change in society, really, for that to be.
But what about just the individual? Fuck society. What can a person do individually, as a man?
Individually, as a man. Well, first they're going to have to get past the stigma, innit? But that's something that has to be done with, the generation that's happening now, innit? I'm not saying that older generations can't do that. But it takes a lot to change an older generation or our generation. Because it's really been built into you from when you were little. Especially West Indians, yeah? Why are you crying? You're a man. You need to fix up. That's always been a thing, innit? That's always been a thing. And it's just we need to stop doing that to our children. Yeah. So that they can, learn how to deal with stuff. Men don't know how to deal with their emotions. They cry and they're like, what's happening? This is too much.
And then they lash out and they want to knock you out. Or they want to smash things up.
Exactly. Or they want to put things on fire.
Yeah. They want to go shoot up a school. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Because of the way they've been trained, because you're a guy, you have to feel like this and you have to live by this. You don't have to. Break the status quo, mate. Be happy within yourself. Even if you can't be happy within yourself, yeah. Just try to at least have some peace of mind for yourself. Because happiness is whatever you make it in it. Sometimes it's hard to be happy in a world where there's so much suffering, which I totally understand.
But it's part of it though. Like, I don't feel we're ever, like, even Buddha, like, I swear you're a Buddhist.
I am.
Even Buddha says that, innit?
Yeah.
That, you know, suffering is part of life and there's no way that you can, you know, get away from, because that's what he did. He left his nice honky-dory life as a rich prince, innit? He was a prince and he had his wife, he had his child, and he was like, nah, I need to know what this life's about. He never experienced what life was, and then he then went on his journey, and he was then became like a homeless man, and he started to see, you know, how people operate, like, you know, the kindness in people and stuff, and to see, you know, so I guess, like, yeah, we can't run away from it. It's part of it.
But you have to learn to be kind to yourself, innit?
And most of us are not kind to ourselves.
No.
You know?
You're not. It's so easy to be kind to other people. It really is. But to be kind to yourself, it takes time. And it's challenging, because you're just like, well, it all comes into like how people treat you as well. But then it's how you treat yourself is how someone's going to treat you. So whatever you project onto yourself is how people are going to perceive you. And it's just like, well, if I wake up and I think I'm amazing, other people are going to see that. Because it's going to like, what's the word?
Resonate.
Yes. It's going to resonate. It's going to shine through you. You can tell when someone's confident. They've got their head held high, their shoulders are relaxed. They're walking with, you know, that swag.
Okay with the I wish you guys could have seen that, man.
That's what they do, and you can feel it when you're around them. You can feel the energy. But it's all about how you harness yourself, man. And people have lost sight of this. I feel like it was just much easier back in the day.
What do you mean back in the day? You're acting like you've been living for about 50 years.
Sometimes I feel like I have. I'm an old soul, man. I'm very old soul.
But I guess, yeah, we've all got these distractions and all these things, you know, kind of tapping away at our mental state, our minds, and we don't know which way to turn, I guess. So it goes back to, like, being able to have that time to be mindful, and just have time for yourself to centre yourself. To know, like, that, you know, who the fuck am I? You ask yourself, who am I?
Like, if you feel like you don't want to go out, don't go out. Don't push yourself in it. A lot of people are in this thing of, I need to live now. Okay.
No, but it is very, like, I'll tell you one thing. It is very difficult being in a city, yeah, because I was a country bumpkin for a few years. It is hard being in a city where there is so many things going on and not going, or like I've found it difficult, like to be like, no, I can't go, like, unless I ain't got the peas. But it's like more time I want to go, because
but don't feel like you're missing out.
Nah, I don't feel like
that's what people feel like, they're missing out. They don't go to this thing, so they run themselves tired because they're like, oh no, I'm gonna miss it. I need to go. But it's gonna come around again. It might not be the same thing, but it's gonna come around in a different form.
Self-care must come first.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that will help with your mental health. If you need time for you, take time for you. You have to be selfish in order to be able to heal, innit? If someone's like, I really need you to come, but you're not feeling good within yourself, you can't be like, okay, I need to put my feeling aside right now to go and... No. Because then that person, you're not benefiting that person. And
then you're going to project onto them because you're not really happy.
Transfer of energy as well.
Yeah, that happened to me recently.
Yes, it did.
But I was happy to go, but then, yeah, like, because deep down inside, like, yeah. Because I think, like you're saying, like, for me, I am a bit of a person who can just do shit on their own, and it's like, I don't need people to do anything. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, yeah, like, I definitely feel like I'm in a much better place. Like I feel much. I think you could see it. Like I'm just
Yes,
look more lighter
you
in
do.
myself. Becoming doing me. So I think that's how we all need to I think that's how I'm gonna end it, because I feel like we could talk about this topic
We could, yeah.
all day. But I think, you know what? Do you?
Do you?
You know, whatever suits you. Just tap into yourself and do that. Don't feel no way. You weren't put on this earth to please others. You were put on this earth to live and to make yourself happy through the experiences that you go through, you know?
And you'll realise your mental health starts to get better once you start putting that energy into fixing you. Once you can be able to just, even if you just go outside for 5 minutes, just soak in some air. And just close your eyes. You don't even have to meditate. Just close your eyes, go outside, and just feel the breeze. That's it. It elevates you. It does. Even going outside to have some sunshine. We need that vitamin D, you know. Everyone suffers from SAD. When you don't have it. Create ways that entice your life for you. You don't have to follow in everybody's footsteps. You don't have to be jealous of what other people are doing. Because what's that help? That's not doing nothing to you. That's hindering you. That's tarnishing your own image that you have for yourself. Remember that you are a person before anything. Even if your personality as well, like strip that away in it and find your core, and you realise that you're just in a vessel and you're just
spirit.
You're just a spirit. You're just a ball of energy. Once you can get to that point as well, you realise that I don't have to be a certain way around people, or I can adapt to certain people. Your personality doesn't make you who you are, innit? But in a way it does. But you can change your personality for you, not for anybody else, innit? Because everyone's like, I'm going to change so I can do right by you. No, bitch. Change so you can do right by you, yourself, innit?
Because we come here alone and we're going to end up leaving here alone. So you need to make sure that
unless there's a big, I don't know, like an earthquake, we will die together. But at the same time, my spirit is going where it's not going by itself, isn't it?
Okay, well, thank you, Lauren. It's been
Chantel.
really nice. So if you like this, please let us know your thoughts and any topics that you'd like us to talk about. Let me know, man. Hello, I'm Chantel Gabriella Jazz, and you've just been listening to Conversations Need to Be Had. And if you like that episode, then please like this video and share it far and wide so people know what time it is, and so we can help elevate the human consciousness to a higher level and having these really important conversations. If you would like to engage with us on social media, then feel free. We are on Twitter, Need to Be Had. We are also on Instagram, C.N.T.B.H. I just like them dots. I had to fill the dots. But anyway, or if you would like to engage with us through email because maybe you want to contribute, or maybe you'd like to feature on this podcast, who knows, then please email us at needtobehad@gmail.com. And thank you so much for listening to this episode, and stay tuned as we have so much more content to give you. Peace.